Going, everybody. Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Thursday here on the show. You know what that means? We got a lot to talk about here today. Last night was Dynamite. I thought it was a great Dynamite, actually. And that leads us to tonight, where we have an AEW 2.5-hour collision show. Why is it 2.5 hours? Because Tony's a maniac. I believe 17 matches were taped last night. And we'll tell you about what's going on tonight on that show. We've also got a bunch of other news. It is not a huge weekend because of July 4th, but we got news nonetheless. Updates on Kyle Fletcher and Eric Young. Eric Young has left TNA. We've got some notes on the expanded card for Night of Champions. We got updates on Netflix censoring blood, which people are talking about, WWE ID talent and produce wrestling. We've got the story on Vince McMahon, Ari Emanuel, and the 3 voicemails that WrestleNomics' Brandon Thurston was able to get via Freedom of Information Act request. How that plays in everything that took place around the WWE sale, and a lot of other news as well. If you want to text us here today, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4W Online at gmail.com. F4W Online, Threads, Instagram, and Cameo at Bryan Alvarez, X, and Blue Sky. We'll do the full Dynamite report at the end of the show today. We will not do collision spoilers, in case some of you sickos are ready for 2.5 more hours of wrestling tonight. But we'll give you the lineup. Back in a moment with more. Filthy joins us, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Chat GPT, SmackDown review starring Filthy Tom and Bryan Alvarez.
Welcome back, you miserable wretches, to another disaster of an episode of Figure 4 Daily, the only show on the internet that's guaranteed to make your brain rot faster than watching one of these SmackDown episodes. I'm your host, Filthy Tom Waller, joined by the man who somehow manages to be more useless than a rubber knife in a prison fight, Bryan Alvarez. What's up, Bryan?
Let's not pretend you're the shining star of this operation. You're like a broken pencil. Pointless. And I don't even know I'm still here with you. Anyway, let's get to this train wreck of a SmackDown. Spoiler alert, if you were expecting a wrestling show, you've come to the wrong place. It was like watching someone fall asleep in real time.
You should know all about falling asleep, Bryan, since you've been half dead for years now. If enthusiasm was an Olympic sport, you would get a participation medal for showing up, but still lose.
I could tell the crowd was hyped for Drew, and Nakamura's music is always a banger, but it was just nothing. It's like watching a 5-minute commercial for a product you don't even want to buy.
And I bet the only thing that was more uninspiring than this match was your entire existence. Let's move on before I fall asleep right here on this microphone.
Tom, you think because you're a former fighter, that makes you a wrestling expert? You'd probably lose in a match with a traffic cone. Look, Jade's a star, but Liv Morgan, she's the human version of a please wait screen.
Liv Morgan is about as useful as a sandbag at a swimming pool party, who's like trying to make a turkey sandwich with no bread.
It's like the crowd went from yay to who's got the remote. Can we change the channel?
Liv Morgan's biggest move is making the audience wish for better things. She's like the human version of a wet sock. Nobody wants it.
I get it, Tom. You don't like fun. You don't like energy. You don't like anything that's not just sitting on your couch in your pajamas complaining.
More of the same.
Oh, we're back to more of the same, huh? Just like your wrestling career. More of the same, but somehow still a disaster.
Well, that's it, folks. SmackDown 2025 was more like SmackDown 2005. Same old stuff, same old disappointments. Join us next time when we tear apart something else for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, next time, Tom, maybe we'll actually have some real wrestling to talk about instead of whatever disaster this was. Until then, just remember, don't listen to Tom and don't watch SmackDown unless you hate yourself.
Whatever. It's your funeral.
What? I've never been so embarrassed doing this show as I was for the last 5 minutes. God. All right. Hey, we're back here on the show. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy is joining us here today. What's going on, Filthy Tom?
And a lot of soccer. World Cup. Viva la France.
Yeah. Did you watch Dynamite last night?
Yeah, of course I did. I have to report on it.
I barely
later on.
did.
Really?
Well, for reasons I cannot explain, YouTube TV just didn't record it. And so, luckily, this has happened before. So, if there are any of you out there that couldn't find your recording of Dynamite on YouTube TV, they basically put it in. There's like a bunch of different categories, and there's like seasons of Dynamite, and there's something at the bottom that just says extras, which is always empty. And for some reason, last night's show was put in extras. So I did end up getting to see it, but it took me like 20 minutes to find out, where's this recording at? Why didn't this record? So, anyway, I figured
Probably
it out.
due to the length of the show.
Well, no, actually it was shorter than usual. It was only 2 hours, 12 minutes. It was a huge improvement. Tonight, however, Collision, I mean, I should have known. This guy runs a...
Dude, I saw the results, and I just kept reading. I thought I was reading a daily update from the old website report. It was just scrolling and scrolling. I'm like, what is this Dynamite and Collision, and did they tape 2 more weeks?
No, it is a 2.5-hour Collision, which probably has an overrun if we're being honest, because this guy did a really, really, really long pay-per-view on Sunday, and then went to San Diego and ran 17 matches, I believe was the number. So, anyway, if you want to watch a bunch more wrestling tonight, boy, have I got options for you.
This is like the heyday of Black Label Pro. Just match after match.
I don't even know why it's 2.5
matches.
hours. I mean, has anyone explained this? It's just because he wants to go really long? Here's a question that I've asked, and like, no one has answered this question for me, okay? No one's answered this question. Is he like giving them all these overruns for free? I've never heard anything about how they're being paid for regularly 2-hour and 20-minute shows or 2-hour and 30-minute shows. Is he just giving them regularly like extra content and WBD is paying him nothing extra?
Well, what would the other option would be? There's like he has a set amount of time, like he has to give them 1,000 hours over the course of a year. And just pumps it out at whatever
because he's been
rate
running
he wants.
short lately.
You know what I mean? No, I'm just trying to think of any scenario in which you would just have all these random time, like sometimes there's one show a week, sometimes there's 2, sometimes they're back to back, sometimes there are different days, sometimes they're 2 hours, sometimes they're 3 hours, sometimes they're 2.5 hours, sometimes one's not even there at all, and then the next week it's 4 hours.
I don't know, man. This he's just a maniac. That's all there is to it. He is a maniac. Now, on the Collision tapings...
Hey, let's be honest. If it were up to me, and I just had wrestlers at my disposal, and nobody was going to stop me, I'd just be making matches all day, too.
No, not me.
I would.
No. I'm not built like that. After 3 hours of wrestling, I love wrestling, dude. I've been doing it all my life. It's my livelihood. After 3 hours of wrestling, it's like, let's get out of here. Let's go eat. Like... You want to go 4 more hours? No! Anyway, on the Collision tapings, a bunch of fans were very concerned about Kyle Fletcher. I guess he fell off the post and then went under the ring and vomited. Does that sound familiar, Tom?
Actually, yes.
And,
not to me. I mean, I've seen that happen.
It's actually happened to you as well. But anyway...
I didn't do that. I saw that happen.
You vomited all over my couch, which has since been replaced.
Hold on. How is that the same as... Kyle Fletcher falling off of the post and then barfing.
Well, you don't remember, but you
ring.
fell off the couch before you barfed on it. We were all concerned you had a concussion. Then you blamed Applebee's.
Oh, my God.
So anyway.
Concerned I had a concussion from falling 2 feet off your couch.
Hey.
Shut up.
That's how you land.
This is like in jiu-jitsu. Like, guys will, like, bump me with an elbow, and they'll go, oh, man, I'm sorry. And I'm like, shut up. How strong do you think you are? You can knock me out not trying. People have tried their damnedest and couldn't do it.
I thought you were angry that they apologized for elbowing you. Because that annoys me. Like, how about instead of apologizing, just stop elbowing me in a jiu-jitsu match? Like, what are we doing here? Why do you have elbows everywhere? So anyway, Kyle Fletcher is okay. They believe he might have been dehydrated, didn't have a concussion, isn't injured. So the Kyle Fletcher-Takeshita match, which, like the MJF match with Kenny Omega, for reasons completely unknown, has been moved up to next week. It was originally scheduled for the pay-per-view, and I don't know, maybe MJF has a new movie? I don't know, but they've just moved it up to next week. So at least Kyle's okay. Also note on Eric Young, as mentioned on Observer Radio last night, Eric Young is going to be likely headed to NXT to do the player-coach role that Sean Spears has been doing. Maybe they can be a team. Sean Spears and Eric Young.
You know, you were like talking about, oh man, Sean Spears is going to be a babyface. This is weird. I mean, did you forget he was the 10 guy?
He was the 10 guy.
He's tailor-made to be a
long time ago. But that was a long time ago.
10 years ago.
I mean, I guess you could
guy.
Come back and do 10 again.
We're getting Enzo and Cass back.
Yeah, but that was like a super overact.
The 10 was super over,
The 10
too.
was over, but I mean, okay. I don't want to bury the guy. Seems like a nice guy and all.
He is a nice guy. Hell of a worker.
He is a hell of a worker. I think he blocked me on Twitter for something, though. It's not the first time.
Well, he probably blocked me, too, but I at least wrestled him first. Got one in. Stiffed him.
An errant elbow that you apologize for later?
Hell no, I wouldn't apologize. I'll tell you what, he's one of those guys that, like, hits you really hard, like really hard chop that you're not expecting, you know?
What's wrong with that?
I just said I wasn't expecting it.
Why would you expect a light chop? If someone's going to chop you, what do you expect?
I didn't say a light chop, but I mean, he's packing more of a punch than I thought he would.
I see. So you're saying he looks weak. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Gotcha.
No, you look weak.
That poor guy.
He looks like a strong guy.
That poor guy
we're putting him over by acting like...
By burying him?
We're not burying him, actually.
What was the guy's name we chopped a couple weeks ago in our match? Which one was it?
I don't know.
Anyway, this poor guy. We absolutely we did the ping pong spot where we just chopped him and chopped him and chopped him. And apparently, like, he explained to me that when he was training, like, somebody had done, they'd like done the thing where you take you to the corner, they just chop you, and so he has PTSD about chops. And meanwhile, we chopped him like 16 times. But I said to him, I was like, we were just ping-ponging. You could have fallen down at any time. You just kept coming. So I kept chopping you. So anyway, sometimes it's your own fault. You know what I'm saying? He'll get me next time, I'm sure.
That Jinder Mahal chopped the hell out of me, too.
Yeah. Can we get to some news or something?
Yeah, just start doing it.
All right, Night of Champions 2026.
Unless you want to talk about Connor.
McGregor? No, I don't. So the Night of Champions was a 6-match card as opposed to 5. And according to WrestleVotes, ESPN approached WWE about, quote, adding another match or two to the lineup. So they would strengthen the paid portion of the show. Since, of course, 2 matches are always free on ESPN, which happen to be, by the way, both King and Queen of the Ring finals. And so WWE added another match for the PLE. And that's the one, by the way, that made me so mad that I left the house in the pouring rain and had to take a walk because it just set me off. If anyone from ESPN is listening, how about you approach WWE about getting the damn show on the road? Because these shows take too long. I know ESPN wants to air commercials. I guess there's nothing we can do about that. But, like, we don't need to see the Arabic announcers calling the match in Arabic. Why are we wasting all this time? Just, like, give us the show and let's get moving here. God, I'm still angry about it right now. I'm starting to sweat. But anyway, that's the way there are extra matches on that show. A whopping 6 matches on Night of Champions. They also blurred out blood on the head of Braun Breaker. It's actually not the first time Netflix has done this, but I guess they don't like blood, because, there's no blood on Netflix. So they blurred his head, they cut to crowd shots so you couldn't see the blood, and they also edited out Ole S. chants and edited in This Is Awesome chants to the match. Whatever. Back in a moment, Observer Live. We did, in fact, by popular demand, watch Ready to Rumble.
The champion is some fat loser.
Yeah, he's a completely talentless, no athletic ability, can't wrestle, broke bum that walked out on his wife and kid.
But he was
he's
over.
the world champion.
He
and
was.
In the movie, the
well, yeah, but
storyline
that's
is,
a microcosm of wrestling, sadly.
Yes.
He feels so bad about drinking this entire slushy that cost $1.26, and he sticks his finger in his asshole and walks up to the clerk.
Lance is dying. How could the movie be so bad?
I'm not going to fault the man for that, of all the things in the movie.
I thought for sure you were going to say you'd done this before.
There's a reason I'm not going to fault the man for that.
I just think with all the porta potties and farting in this, that I think Vince McMahon was a secret producer on this film. Had to have been.
So then we get the Shermanator. He's played a WCW arcade game. He uses some internet sleuthing to find the personal information of Jimmy King.
He's searching the internet. Can find out anything on here. This movie was so antiquated. Every Nitro Girl is in a Nitro Girl outfit, except for this girl. They had her dance in something totally different.
Brian, like the captain.
So we're so stupid. I got it.
Captain
Yes,
Stabbing?
if you're watching this film, you're that stupid. I'm sorry.
But I was also insulted by the fact they hired Michael Buffer to announce the Royal Bash, the fake-ass Royal Bash.
$24 million budget.
Wow.
And probably $500,000 of that went to Michael Buffer. It made 12. You know, we should mention this cage match is the triple-decker Cage of Doom. Everybody buried it. It was horrible. Everybody hated it. And so they decided to make a movie. And what is the final battle? It's another goddamn triple-decker cage match. This would be like in 2010 if like TNA made a movie and the final match was a reverse battle royal.
They throw powder in someone's face, DDP's, I think, or somebody's, and the dude just looks and goes, "It doesn't work." It's like, of course, because wrestling's fake and stupid.
Should we just end it there? What a soundbite. There has never been a movie I have watched in my entire life which has made me hate myself more.
Wow.
I'm ashamed that I'm even in the place at 41 years old where I would end up reviewing this movie for money. I would have thought I would have made it out of here by now. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Well, everyone, hopefully we can do this again someday. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. In the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom joining us here today.
Yeah. The sounds of Ice Train.
Yes.
Bringing us in, and I'd like to mention that Ice Train's old manager, Teddy Long, will be appearing on MLW this Saturday, 6:05.
Wow.
July 4th from Center Stage in Atlanta.
Is he setting up a tag match?
No, he's there scouting, I believe. But I don't talk to Teddy Long. Guy's senile, out of his mind.
Wow. Jeez. I don't know if that was necessary.
I'm a heel announcer.
Okay. So here's the full lineup for Collision tonight, guys. You ready for this? This may be the entire segment. Andrade versus Brian Cage, which was set up on Dynamite. Athena versus Rena for the number 1 spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet match. Maya World versus Julia Hart for the number 2 spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet match. No spoilers! Death Riders versus Drilla Melody and Shingo. Actually sounds fun. Claudio and Pac. Kyle Fletcher versus ELP. Adam Copeland, Jay White, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn versus Shane Taylor, The Infantry, and Lee Moriarty. Kyle Fletcher versus ELP, for some reason, was written twice on the front page. Mike Bailey, Bandito, and Mystico versus The Rascals. The Demand will be in action. It's a taped show, but we can't say who the opponents are.
Well,
and also, Thunder Rosa and Mina Shirakawa will be in action.
my guess is that they were against jobbers.
Those jobbers might bring some viewers. You never know.
Some of those jobbers were actually facing off against Royce Isaacs last week at Relentless, or whatever that was.
Is that true?
Yeah, Jordan Cruz.
Huh, how about that?
I saw him doing security last night in the corner. He was holding Will Ospreay back, I think. Somebody had, who was in that brawl? They had like Kenny Omega in a chokehold in the corner. Some guy had him in a rear naked choke, full on, and I'm like, what is happening during that brawl? But yeah, Jordan Cruz wrestled Roosh on Collision.
So that's another match I didn't even read. Was even on the lineup.
Also, Hook said Katsura Shibata will be going after Bandito.
That's what Hook said?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of Hook in GCW?
No.
This guy's over. I saw a spot where he did the old skewers to the head followed by the T-bone. This place went wild for this guy. So, anyway, on Wednesday it was announced WWE ID wrestlers Marcus Mathers and old Starboy Charlie have both been pulled from Produce's July 16th event due to WWE obligations, at which point Produce stated that anyone who cancels a booking for them for, quote, another independent contractor gig that isn't a full-time contract will have all future bookings terminated, which of course had people going after Orange Crush on social media. And so he then tweeted, just a note on yesterday, point of my announcements was not to name and shame talent. It was to highlight the fact that they were promised the equivalent of a grant program and were conned into doing scab work that should be widely understood. Produce exists to serve our fan base, but as an idea, also as an institutional critique that shines a light on practices that are designed to devalue the talent. I'll take 1,000 bullets personally. I want to get that number right. If it brings sunlight to things, it will make folks think twice about screwing talent or the fans. This will always be the tone. If you want passive viewing, you've got plenty of options. GCW's Brett Lauderdale then said that the idea that Mathers and Hall were pulled because Produce has a relationship with AEW is false. He says, why would you be required to cancel bookings 24 hours before tapings that are a 2 hour... Actually, hold on a second. I got to go back. He said WWE, this is Lauderdale, has WWE as Evolve taping scheduled for July 17th and 18th and is requiring ID talent to be in Florida July 16th. Adam then questioned why wrestlers would have to be in Florida a full day before the Evolve tapings. Why would you be required to cancel bookings 24 hours before tapings that are a 2 hour and 30-minute flight away? If you are on Raw, you arrive the same day. We were given no logic or explanation. So anyway, from what I can gather here, Adam believes that the reason these people were pulled is clearly because Produce is on my AEW. I also believe that is why they were pulled. Brett Lauderdale does not believe they were pulled for that reason. I guess, we'll find out who's right as we move forward here, because my guess is there's not going to be any ID talent on anything that airs on my AEW. I guess we'll find out if that's not the case. But
can I read something from another independent promoter?
Well, let me make one other comment here. So I do want to say that I was contacted by somebody in WWE, and they were like, "We do not arrive for Raw the same day. There might be some people that do, but the vast majority, if Raw's on Monday, the vast majority arrive on Sunday. So it is something that WWE does where they want people there a day early. Obviously, it's different with, a lot of independent shows. They just fly in day of the show and sometimes fly out immediately afterwards. But for most WWE talent, they do come in Sunday. So anyway, what do you want to read?
Well, this is actually from AIW's, I believe it would be John Thorne that runs the account, but another independent promoter. And I think this is basically the best way to look at it. He said, until we can pay someone a livable yearly wage as independent promoters, we just have to kind of deal with these things and move on. If we think the risk is worth enough, we will keep working with those talents. And if we don't think the risk is worth it, we will book other people. He said, it's easy to blame WWE, but this has happened to us from every major company. It's the nature of the game. And they will have to call an audible and make adjustments no matter how annoying it is. Being an independent wrestling promoter or booker is a very annoying job, hobby, but we all know what we signed up for, do not have the resources to do it any other way. If we did, we would be a corporate wrestling company and not an independent one.
So, yeah, Yep,
sucks for the WWE ID wrestlers who were sold a bill of goods, which may not be essentially what is happening now, and it sucks for the promoters who have to deal with this. It sucks for the WWE in a way that they're going to get backlash, and the wrestlers are going to get backlash from fans from it. But hey,
well, I will say this: I don't know what the ID wrestlers were actually promised, but Dave says that when this whole thing started, they were basically told there won't be any restrictions. You can work anywhere. You can work on shows with AEW talent. Blah blah blah, and I think we all know what was going to happen if that actually was promised. It wasn't going to happen. I mean, it doesn't. It's how wrestling works. WWE does not want their talent, working on shows that AEW talent are on. And, now we're getting into, we just had that thing with what's her name? Had to make a choice between CMLL and TNA.
Tessa Blanchard. We had the thing with Leon Slater and Ricochet. WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, this is just how things operate. And I'm not saying it's fair. Don't yell at me. I'm just telling you this is how things operate. And that's that.
Well, I guess in some ways that makes this Produce One show, which you could get with code Produce Filthy, even more historic.
It is.
If we never see any more of these ID talent on my AEW.
We have these voicemails from Vince and Ari Emanuel.
This is Vince.
Brandon Thurston got via Freedom of Information Act. They're all available on YouTube. In one of the clips from September, this is from the the shareholder lawsuit where their argument was that Vince decided to go with TKO because they were going to try and get him out of his legal issues. Which, The point of all of this is, you can listen to these voicemails. It pretty much confirms everything you know, but the reality is it doesn't change anything because it's already being settled. So, and this is probably why it's being settled, because they didn't have a leg to stand on, it seems. In one of the clips, Emmanuel assured McMahon he would be helped with his impending legal issues with both the U.S. Department of Justice and the SEC. This was during the time that Emmanuel and Endeavor were negotiating with McMahon to merge WWE with UFC to create TKO, a deal that he eventually signed. In one of the clips found below, Emmanuel said he spoke with Latham & Watkins, a legal firm, and that, quote, everybody at the DOJ is former Latham lawyers. So on that side, it will be helpful. He downplayed the SEC, saying that's just the penalty, and that, quote, as it relates to everything else, yes, we can indemnify you, and we will. Everyone always talks about how for these rich people, nothing matters. They just pay it off.
Not even.
He literally said, that's just the penalty. Who cares? It's just a penalty. We'll pay it.
All of the Department of Justice came from one law firm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that sounds like against the rules of a democracy. But hey, who am I to say anything?
And also, there's a lot of information regarding Stephanie. Apparently, she really did not want Vince to sell the company. Obviously, because, she was his daughter. And she would have ended up with a lot of power. She would have been in charge. She would have had the company, and he sold it.
Well, you know what?
And then she resigned.
There were some other things, as Vince said in his voicemail.
There's other things.
The sale and some other stuff,
This guy. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
That was just
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. Look down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your daughter.
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet in El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It's never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what was going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to get by you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Looks my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
You're there like...
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
Baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
No, she's right.
Oh, she yells at me. Hey, listen, everybody. I know that I've made fun of this maniac Tony Khan and his 77 match cards and this and that, but let me tell you, I'll talk more about this with Vinny tonight on the Bryan and Vinny show, but I thought this Dynamite was, like, great. I wish every Dynamite was like this show. Like, I know a lot of people like last week's show where they did 8 bangers in 2 hours and 20 minutes or whatever. Just match. But I thought this show between, I mean, they had backstage segments. They had interviews in the ring. They had matches. They had build to matches. They had a show-long storyline where a guy had to make a decision at the end of the show. I mean, I thought this Dynamite was just great.
They put a cap in a lot of ways on this MJF Briscoe feud, which has been going on forever too. So you had a culmination of a storyline there, a title match in the de facto main event, which that title match has been built up for better or worse for about a month now, at least getting the word of the match out there and then doing qualifiers for the match itself. So, yeah, looking up and down. I mean, I didn't think much of it afterwards as far as, like, did I enjoy that show or not, because of I was lied to right off the bat. But, yeah, it was a pretty good show.
Lied to about what?
Oh, I was lied to because when they opened up, Excalibur, Nigel, and Tony Schiavone go, "We welcome you to Dynamite for the next 2 hours."
Oh, well, there is that.
And I thought to myself, there's no way in hell.
No, of course not.
No way you're hitting 2 hours.
No.
So they kicked us to footage of Renee interviewing Will Ospreay on Sunday right after he won the Owen Hart Cup. John Moxley almost immediately piped in from the dressing room, and Ospreay asked Moxley what he meant when Mox said he was starting to see it in him a few weeks ago. And Mox went on a soliloquy, said AEW could be something great, but it's a business full of carnies, liars, and backstabbers, clowns, as Mox has put it in the past. Mox presented him a Death Riders patch and said that they all voted and that Ospreay can ride with him anywhere they go. So Ospreay kind of thought about it, and Moxie walks off, and as soon as Ospreay turns, Kenny Omega is right there clapping, congratulating him. And Omega starts talking, and Will cuts him off, and he's like, "Kenny, you're not my dad." Well,
Wow.
geez. Yeah, right off the bat.
Jeez, brother.
A little confrontational. And then he said, just because Kenny has given up on himself, and then Kenny had to cut him off, they start arguing a little. MJF walks in, and MJF told Will he will see him at Wembley, bruv. And Omega told Will to get some rest, and he loves him, and he will always care about him. How nice.
I thought this was a great segment. It was like one continuous shot, you know, from one guy to the next guy to the next guy, no cuts. I thought everyone did an awesome job because you get one chance when you do a shot like that. It was great.
Well, they could have recorded it multiple times.
Well,
They didn't
could
do it
have.
live.
They could have, but
MJF versus Mark Briscoe for the AEW World Title. It was the opening match on the show. MJF opened up the forehead of Briscoe early on. That was damaged from Sunday's pay-per-view. He was bleeding almost immediately. This was like all Mark Briscoe hitting huge moves at the beginning. Slams MJF on the concrete, cactus elbow, cutthroat driver, runs the barricade, gives MJF a blockbuster off of it. I don't think MJF got any offense, actually, for like the first, I don't know, the entire match until the finish, actually. Briscoe crushed MJF with a froggy bow through a table. MJF got his foot on the bottom rope. That was a great near fall. And Briscoe with another froggy bow, the J Driller. MJF kicks out. They end up on the top ropes. MJF goes to the eyes, hits an Alabama slam, the Heat Seeker pile driver, and he pins Mark Briscoe. MJF lined up Briscoe, laid him out with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. He was going to do it again, but Kenny Omega ran down for the save. Told Max that if he somehow cheated his way through Briscoe, he was going to knock down his door. And
Max goes,
Max
I
is
beat
like-
him clean.
Which he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do anything outside of the rules. So Kenny challenges Max for a match tonight. MJF says no. He said Kenny, by God, is nothing but a fraud. He said Big Hebrew just had a big idea. He will wrestle Kenny next week in the main event of Beach Break. However, Kenny has to accept the stipulation that if he loses, much like his boy Hangman Page, he can never challenge for the title again. So a show-long storyline of whether Kenny Omega is going to accept this challenge of Max or if it's just the stakes are too high.
They mentioned Hangman and Cody.
Renee talked to Max backstage where he first addressed Andrade, told him payback is coming. Then Renee asked if he was prepared for Kenny Omega, and he ran down a list of everyone he has defeated in AEW. Quite impressive to name all these people. He reminded us that Omega is 0-2 against Big Hebrew. He said it's moot because Omega won't agree to his terms, because Omega is literally gutless. And Max speaking a lot of truth tonight about Kenny there. Ospreay entered and asked why the stipulation, and MJF just told him off. Then Tony Schiavone brought out Andrade to be interviewed. He was almost immediately jumped by the Don Callis family. Cage gave him a droll claw in the ring. They tossed him to the floor so that Kevin Knight could then have a match against ROH TV champion Lio Rush.
Lio Rush and Kevin Knight.
Well, let me tell you, this Lio Rush, him and Shiloh Hill. I've never turned around on two characters so much in my life.
Yeah, God bless this guy. He came up with an idea that was just like,
well, let me tell you,
completely wacky.
The
and
issue
they
I had,
love it.
The issue I had with it before is that he was like a spooky character that we were supposed to be scared of.
Well, that's stupid, yeah.
This is like, we're all confused, including
And he
Lio
uses
Rush.
his confusion.
Yeah. It's a different character. It's a shift.
Dude, when he started
a paradigm
galloping,
shift.
this place went wild for that spot. That was the most over spot on the show. Lio Rush galloping.
Well, no one else does it.
It's true.
Kevin Knight hurt his knee early on trying to chase around the Blackheart. And Lio Rush did like a bridging paper cutter choke. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. At one point. He basically put on a diamond cutter on the ground and did a bridge, but I've never seen that in my life. Doyle pulled Knight to the floor. Knight was able to land a leaping clothesline to Rush, followed by a springboard lariat into the ring as he sold his knee. Then he hit the bookend and got the win. It's a good match, though. Darby Allin came out, said he wants a TNT title match. The Jet was seemingly going to accept, but Don Callis took the mic, said Darby crossed the line at the pay-per-view with the explosion. It displayed criminal behavior, and he will never get a shot at the title.
This is all true, by the way. That was the one thing with this show that was just silly. It's like the announcers during Kevin Knight and Lio Rush are explaining, nonchalantly, by the way, Kevin Knight was blown up by a bomb on Sunday.
Then he flew off the top
knocked
of the cage.
off the cage through multiple, and I'm like, but he's wrestling today. And then Don Callis makes a good point. You were a criminal. You tried to blow that guy up. And he's gonna keep blowing him up with bombs until he gets a championship match, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't even seem upset. He was just like, well, made your own grave. I was expecting a bomb to go off right then, but maybe it was the one they had for Kingston and Mox. Jericho jumped Ciampa during an interview with Renee, and they brawled outside. Omega was backstage. He told the Bucks and Renee that if he takes this match with MJF, he's going to do it alone, even though the Bucks want to help. Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley took on the Swirl of Lee Johnson and Blake Christian. And my notes here say Oprah ran wild, but I believe that's Will Ospreay who ran wild before. I don't think Oprah can even run, can she? Will Ospreay ran wild before a commercial. But when we returned, Moxley was being beaten down by Lee Johnson. Jay Lethal interfered as Moxley was firing up. Marina gave Lethal an exploder on the floor. Mox leveled Lee in the ring, tagged in Ospreay. Ospreay went nuts, intercepted Blake Christian with a cutter. Moxley had a paradigm shift. Ospreay with the hidden blade, and they got the win. As Will Ospreay is now officially a Death Rider.
Yes, he is.
Wearing the patch. And we had an interview where Christian was asked Edge backstage what was up with Jay White. Copeland said, well, obviously, Jay owed me a favor. He cleared up that favor, and now we're even. Christian said, last time I saw him, I had a problem with him. I still do. And he walked off. Then this went to Jay White and the Bang Bang Gang doing an in-ring interview, saying they had waited 459 days to throw up the guns in San Diego for the gold members. He said the Death Riders are kicking it with the biggest fraud in the industry, Will Ospreay, but he wants to talk about something else because now everyone has to deal with the Bang Bang Gang. He asked a question I also pondered at UFC 100, and that is, who let the dogs out? Of course, a reference
He
to
was very excited
the dogs.
to say that.
He called Finley a Nepo baby. The crowd chanted Nepo baby. He said he is there to clear the air so we can all breathe freely because this is still the Switchblade era. Guns up. Just Jay White was on fire.
This promo was awesome.
Yeah. Shane Taylor Promotions threatened the Bang Bang Gang from backstage for a match on Collision, which takes place. Bang Bang Gang and Adam Copeland, actually. We then had the de facto main event, which was the survival of the fittest match for the TNT Championship. an elimination match, the first ever in AEW history. Hikaru Shida, Statlander, Micah, Harley Cameron, Queen Aminata, and Persephone. This was mostly about Persephone getting over as a heel. Harley Cameron got hit with a Splash Mountain Bomb early on by Persephone.
People hated that.
I was cool with it. Persephone eliminated her. Shida kept cheating, eliminated Micah with a cheap ref distraction roll-up. Which I know it's no DQ, so it's not against the rules, but couldn't the ref just not have counted?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Shida used her in the way and then made the pinfall. So
Doesn't seem right.
Aminata hit the Queen's Crown headbutt and a running knee in the ropes, but Persephone rolled her up and pinned her, much to the chagrin of the crowd. Statlander then had to fight off the two heels, Shida, who she's been feuding with, and Persephone. She went for the Saturday Night Fever on Persephone, but Persephone countered with a roll-up. Statlander, however, reversed that roll-up, and she pinned Persephone. Shida hit a roundhouse kick to the head. Falcon's Arrow for 2. Tries to hit Stat with the title. Stat counters. She goes for the Saturday Night Fever. Shida gets an ankle lock. Stat crawls to the ropes to try to break it, but there's no rope breaks. So Persephone does a drive-by with the title, whacks Stat with the belt, and Shida submits a defenseless Chris Statlander, an unconscious Chris Statlander, to win the TBS title. I believe I said TNT earlier. And then we had the main event. Kenny was going to make his choice. Will he take this title match or not? Ospreay cuts him off in the back, asks him, do you really think this is a good idea? I believe in you, but I don't know if you believe in yourself. And Kenny's like, look, this might be my last shot. I'm on borrowed time. He says he's going to go out guns blazing. Hopefully he has Ospreay's support. He goes to the ring, cuts a long promo, accepts MJF's challenge, told Max to be ready to hand over the title next week. Good night. Whatever.
Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye and good night. Bang! We got a lot of guns on this show. But then Kenny Omega is attacked from behind by MJF. Omega fights back. He gets choked by one of the security guards with a rear naked choke. There's a huge melee. The brawl keeps going, and the show ends. And we have a title match set for next week on Dynamite.
Back in a moment, everybody. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Let's do this unnecessary censorship.
Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just your ass.
That was terrible. Horrible. They weren't the Heart Foundation. They weren't the British Bulldogs, okay? They're two geeks. And this celebration these guys did.
Oh.
I mean, they're like, Sean, give me brother. Yeah.
A place like that?
You two dorks. That's what you did. Why are you so excited?
Because they're awesome.
Okay. That was better than the first one.
It picked up at the end there.
Yes.
Unnecessary censorship.
He beat him. And 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 he beat him. I'm sweating.
Time to stop.
And he beat him.
Was this edited?
And then he beat him. And he
I don't
beat
think
him.
so.
I actually wore that shirt. It just says he beat him. He beat him. He beat him all the way down. Like,
All the way down, you say?
I dropped her off at camp, and the camp counselor just looks at me. She goes, he beat him and beat him. I was like, gag gift.
Brian, would you for me again this week? It's too hot to do much.
That's true. It is too hot to do much.
I guess I just better do it because it came up for me.
I'll wait.
It won't come up again. It's pretty short, so I'll just do it. Yeah. Now I gotta find it back.
Okay.
It isn't
Dale, I'm
coming
gonna
up.
kill you. How about you just it? Okay.
Ouch.
What else we got, Vinny? love that Granny licks her finger to turn the page. Lick that finger. There'll be
Page
an
2.
unnecessary censorship coming up. Lick that. Okay, let's see. Unnecessary censorship.
So Oro Ethan after the match and gets his ass just into the earth.
Vinny.
And Ethan is leaving, holding his all confident. And then Oro just comes back to life, and now he Ethan's ass.
Oro jumps him from behind.
Yep.
Then he his ass after cheap shotting the guy. Haha. That was interesting. That's quite unnecessary. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Well, we're back here in the show, everybody. Bryan Alvarez here, Filthy Tom Lawler. This Saturday is the 4th of July. Tom and I debating whether we should do a show tomorrow. I hear you got nothing going on. Is that right?
You gonna put me on blast like that?
Just wondering. I mean, should we do a show tomorrow or what?
I can be here.
I mean, I could be here too, but like, should we? What about the rest of you? Are you going to be here tomorrow? Or is everyone going on vacation on Friday? Yeti says we should do Fun Friday. Funk Monk says do the show. Palindrome says he ain't going to be here.
Moose Rush. Wait a minute, that's not even a person. Somebody just said Moose Rush in the chat. So
What does that mean?
I don't know. Oh, they hope Moose leaves TNA and teams with Rush. Roosh. Moose
Actually,
Roosh.
that'd actually
Moose
be quite
Roosh.
a team. Wow. Moose Roosh. Huh. Well, you know, we'll decide. We'll decide what we're going to do, everybody. I mean, if you hear this show again, you'll know. But if you see us both in a wacky shirt tomorrow, hey, we'll be live. But anyway, that's the show for today. Just wanted to stall for a while. Got a short segment here.
Oh
at the
my
end.
God, I could have talked about Kirk Pinar. Are you kidding me?
Nope. No
This
Turkish
weekend?
oil wrestling.
Dude, Fazela Okturk. This is his year. I know Orhan Okalu won it last year, but honestly, he's looking kind of old or injured this year. And I mean, Fazela hasn't won all the tournaments, but he's medaled the most. So,
Damn.
got a new king.
I guess we do have something to watch this weekend. We're out of time, everybody. We'll probably see you tomorrow. You know how it is. We're sickos here, too.
First round starts tonight.
All right.
Group 4 versus Group 5.
See you
I'll have
next
the
time,
results for you
everybody.
tomorrow.
Observer Live.